Eagles to get a win. Yeah, I understand. We just wanted the Eagles to get the win. It'd be 6-2 going into the bye week. But, John, I don't care what anybody says anymore. We needed to see that. We needed at some point in the season to see a beatdown of a lesser opponent. The first 4 weeks of the season, we knew were going to be difficult because of the opponents that you played. Then you lost to the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Okay, you can excuse it. You could not excuse the last time they played the New York Giants where they beat the doors off of you. Then you had the nice bounce-back win against the Vikings. But we had not seen that beat-down victory yet from the Philadelphia Eagles, and we got it yesterday, 38-20. Giants scored a garbage-time touchdown, so really 38-13. And now we are sitting here on this Victory Monday in much better spirits than we have in some previous Mondays. Good morning, John Kincade.
It was a great energy in the stadium, and good morning to you. It was a great day, beautiful day. The Eagles showed up. The Eagles put a beat down on them. The Eagles did it without A.J. Brown. They did it without Cam Jurgens, which honestly was a bigger missing piece of the puzzle to me. And look, they're feeling good. They're 6-2. It's a bye week. They don't have to play for 14 days.
And that's huge because you mentioned A.J. Brown. You mentioned Cam Jurgens. At one point yesterday, Saquon Barkley, limping off the side
of the
field.
He took himself out, yeah.
There were a lot of players that got banged up or have been banged up. On Friday, we did the CVS receipt of the Eagles injury report where there were so many players. And then we got the news later on in the day, Friday, to your point, A.J. Brown out, and you're wondering, all right, well, what's this passing attack going to look like? Because last week it was better, a lot of it on broken down plays. It looked spectacular yesterday against the Giants, and I want to say that right away because I know there was a lot of issues here. We had a war between us and the afternoon show. Shout out to Kevin Patullo. He had a hell of a day calling plays yesterday for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, it's amazing, too, and but what has to be pointed out in that same discussion is it took Cam Jurgens' injury for them to realize, this is maybe a good way to run your offense because it's much harder to defend a team under center than it is a team in shotgun. It's basic. And that Eagles offense yesterday looked fantastic. Absolutely sleek. And the Giants aren't a great defense.
No, they're not.
But that's what a great team is supposed to do. The Eagles are supposed to do that to a Giants team.
Especially after they beat you up the last time you played them. Jalen Hurts, 15 of 20, 179 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But, of course, the biggest story offensively, and we have to talk about the defense, and we will because they were good yesterday as well. My God, was it good to see Saquon Barkley look like Saquon Barkley again. 14 carries, 150 yards. Yes, just 14 carries for 150 yards. That's 10.7 yards per carry. And, of course, that's because of a couple of big runs, including the touchdown on the second play of the game. But, Johnny, 5 yards per carry on a normal run. Like, he was not getting stuff behind the line of scrimmage. Shout out to the offensive line, whatever Jeff Stoutland figured out, whatever Kevin Patullo figured out for Saquon Barkley to have some running lanes. But even the times where there weren't the big gaping holes that led to the long touchdown runs, there was just 4 or 5 yards per carry on a normal run, which that sets up everything for your offense, right? When you're 1st and 10 and then you're 2nd and 5, instead of 2nd and 10, or at some points last week and the week before 2nd and 12, the Eagles' offense can do so many different things. And not only did Barkley have the big day, Tank Bigsby, who the Eagles traded for and tried forcing into the return game because they needed to get him on the field because they made a trade for him. It was horrible. They had to bench him from kick returning. He goes out there. He's getting secondary carries. 9 carries for 104 yards. 2 running backs for the Philadelphia Eagles hitting the century mark yesterday.
Well, Tank is there's one hole, and that's what he's going to hit.
Yes.
I love the fact that he doesn't dance around. Okay, I'm trying to think of the guy, the running back that was with us a couple years that had the neck issues.
Jordan Howard.
Stinger.
He reminds me of Jordan Howard.
Yep.
Jordan Howard was a hit the hole back. But there's the hole, hit the hole, run through it. And that's good. And look, it's nice to find a way to be able to contribute. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Now he hasn't had a lot of touches.
No, of course.
But it's still fun.
But we talked about this on the air last week. And look, now, of course, the conversation kind of goes sideways because Saquon Barkley had the great day. But last week we talked about it on the air. maybe giving some of these other running backs some looks because opposing defenses, when Saquon's not on the field, they're not stacking the box, right?
Absolutely.
They're not worried about A.J. Dillon. They're not worried about Tank Bigsby. They're not worried about Will Shipley. And that may open up some things for some of the backups.
Like the 2nd and 26 carry?
Yeah. I mean, they're like, all right.
Where nobody's expecting the handoff to Tank Bigsby.
And they're like, okay, let's not load the box. And then he has the big run. So great day for the Eagles offensively, and, of course, great day for the Eagles defensively as well. As I mentioned, 20 points for the Giants, but a garbage time touchdown when all the backups were out there for the Eagles. Marcus Epps, he's playing, although he had a big hit on somebody. But the Eagles defense, 5 sacks yesterday, which that is a major storyline for me. As you guys know, that's been my biggest worry for this Eagles defense, even more so than cornerback 2. The fact that they were able to get to Jackson Dart, and it wasn't 5 sacks on a young quarterback just holding on to the ball too long. No, they were vicious, and 5 sacks doesn't even tell the true story. I mean, there were times where they were getting to Jackson Dart, and he was doing a good job just getting the ball right away or at the last second. There was the one where Jahad Campbell had him by the ankle, and they thought it was a fumble and ended up being a forward pass. But that was almost a sack. The Eagles got to Jackson Dart pretty much all game on Sunday.
We all agree that Jackson Dart's going to be a problem?
Yes.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
And when they get their top wide receiver back and they get their running back Scatterboo getting hurt too was just a killer for that game.
Ugly injury.
That was ugly. So look, that's a complete win. More importantly, you just put the 6th win on the board, and you get yourself there at 6-2, and you're just really sitting pretty.
Yeah.
And now it's all about just trying to figure out where you're going to seed out come playoff time, because there's nobody who's going to challenge you to win this division. Unless you shoot yourself in the foot repeatedly over and over again, it's not happening.
So today at 610-632-0975, obviously overall reaction to the Philadelphia Eagles win over the Giants, 38-20. Man, does it feel good to come in here on a Monday morning and be chipper and be happy and be ready to go and wanting more football instead of saying, man, take your time until we see another game. But they go to the bye week, which is huge for this football team. But we want to hear from you, not just reaction, but I want you to respond to this. I don't care what any of you said on Friday that just needed to see a win. We talked about it, right?
That's me.
On Friday, we talked about, did you just need to see a win or did you need to see something specific? I saw my mentions were flooded on Twitter and Instagram, John. Oh, man, I just need to see a win. These radio hosts always need to see more, but they always make it more complicated. Don't you feel better today that they finally did something that we had not seen all season long? A full, complete effort, 4 quarters of offense, 4 quarters of defense. This is the first time. It's a stress-free Monday. Special teams. It's a stress-free Monday for pretty much the first time all season. So stop lying to yourself. Admit it. Did you need to see a game like last night, yesterday afternoon? I did, and we got it. 610-632-0975.
Look, it feels better. It feels better. It absolutely feels better. But the idea is, somebody saying that on Friday, though, I think is very, very valid. It definitely feels better. But the Giants aren't going to be the kind of team that stands in your way to win a Super Bowl.
Of course not.
And that, to me, is just where I'll say that's the kind of win yesterday that I expect Super Bowl championship teams to do. When they play the least team in their division, go on out, win a game comfortably, and do it. And they did it. And they did it without some key pieces, which is really, really good.
Probably the most important thing to see yesterday, that ground game was humming. Saquon, 14 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown. Coming up next, you'll hear from Saquon Barkley after the Eagles win over the Giants. And the league now has to be on alert. We'll tell you why next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Thank you so much for checking out our content here on our YouTube channel. You know you can like and subscribe, and that way you're never going to miss anything that we've got going on right here at 97.5 The Fanatic.